So Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden last night went about like you'd expect. I mean, from the videos I saw, people were leaving early. Um, a lot of his guests were saying the same stuff that they normally say. A lot of it on immigration, a lot of unfounded claims and stuff. You had Hulk Hogan come out and do his normal flexing and posing for the crowd, and he just looked really old. And it looked even worse when he tried to tear his shirt off like he normally does, and looked like he was struggling quite a bit. And this is something he's done a million times in his career, and now suddenly is struggling. Um, and this Tony Hinchcliffe, the opening act for Donald Trump, referred to Puerto Rico as an island of garbage. Now we know that's not true, but it just shows that they are attacking anybody and everybody. And it wouldn't surprise me if this was all planned. Now Republicans in Donald Trump's campaign say they knew nothing about this, and they're trying to disavow knowing what he was going to say, which tells me one of two things. Either they didn't vet the guy before they brought him on to be the opening act, or they agreed with him, but now they're just trying to distance themselves because there was a lot of blowback from it. But Donald Trump comes out and does his whole stick, and it was just more repeating the same things. And like I said, people were starting to leave early. But he said something interesting in there in the middle of it. He said he thinks they're going to do really good in the House and that they're going to gain more seats. And that he's got a plan with Mike Johnson, and he can't talk about it till after the election, and when they gain more seats in the House. And a lot of people are worried about that. Well, I don't think there's a plan. Why? Because they haven't done anything that suggests at any point that they have a winning strategy. They're just saying things at this point. Some people are worried that this means they're going to try to do something where if the vote comes down to a tie, that Donald Trump could potentially win with a vote in the House. Well, maybe, but that's like the long shot of long shots. We haven't had an electoral college tie since 1800. I don't predict a tie. I think it's going to be a blowout. And even Donald Trump, by making a comment like this, is saying he thinks it could be bad for Republicans because he's saying they have a plan, that they have a little secret. Well, that means they're going to try to do something. They're up to something shady. At least that's the way I take that. That, they don't believe that they can confidently win the election on their own. So instead, they're going to do this plan, this secret, whatever. And it's not going to work. I'm predicting that Kamala Harris is going to win with more electoral votes than Joe Biden had in 2020. She's going to probably beat Donald Trump by at least 10 million in the popular vote. And I'm thinking that the Democrats gain 30, 40 seats in the House. I think it's entirely possible. I also think it's possible that the Democrats keep control of the Senate. There's a lot of embattled Republicans out, that could potentially lose. You got Rick Scott, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz. You've got Fisher in Nebraska. You got Blackburn in Tennessee. All of them could potentially lose. And even if none of them lose, if Tester wins in Montana, Democrats keep control of the Senate. So I think Democrats keep the Senate. They gain a solid majority in the House, and Kamala's going to be president. But just by listening to Donald Trump, you can tell he's starting to get worried and he's starting to panic.